Hey there, folks. Welcome to the 250 subscriber Q&A. I kind of just wanted an excuse to turn my chair. So I'm going to put this up here. I've got your questions right here. Let's do this. Okay, so 250 subscriber Q&A. I hurt my hand a second ago. It really hurts. So, at current count, we are at 262 subscribers, which is amazing. Because one, it means that you guys have been, like, really awesome. I mean, just, like, coming in, helping me out. I can't say enough. So yeah, I don't want to bog this video down too much with, with my sappiness. I can do that in another thing. Because you guys sent me so many questions, and, like, it's awesome, but we got to get to this, because it's going to be a long enough video with all my rambling, because these are some good questions, and I want to make sure I do them justice. So, without further ado, first question comes from Alex over at A Guy Who Games, and he asks, what are your hidden talents, or something incorrect sir, something you're really good at, someone else would never guess? Hidden talents? I'm actually decently good at makeup. I was a theater major in college, as a lot of you probably know, and one of my classes was makeup, and, like, I had some issues with the blending of stuff. It tended to be too dark, but it was theater makeup, so, you kind of want it thick anyway. But yeah, I actually did some pretty good makeup stuff. Dang, I can't come up with anything. I am not talented. I love to rollerblade. Like rollerblade, roller skate, either of those. I haven't done it in a long time again. I need to get back to this stuff. Man, like, I don't do anything anymore. But yeah, as a kid, I would go to the roller rink all the time, and, like, you could not take me down. Like, I remember I would go the entire session, like, jumping over kids that had fallen and stuff, and, like, I would not fall at all. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I've got, like, a low center of weight, or center of gravity? Yeah, center of gravity, but I could not be taken down by those stupid little kids that always fall because they don't know how to skate. So, suck on that, kids. I don't know. I'm hyper. I'm sorry. I'm excited about this Q&A. Next question. Next question comes from my old buddy Azure Raiden, and he has 3 for me. The first one is, would you cosplay as Tingle for $500? And not just one day, for a full 3-day weekend convention. Dude, I would probably do that for free. Like, the publicity alone, like, just the hilarity of all of it would be worth it. I've done some pretty ridiculous costumes over the years. Just, random stuff that I thought was funny and could find the supplies for. So I would have no shame dressing up as Tingle. If I can Photoshop that, I will. Because I think it'd be hilarious. Like, whatever, I don't care. You only live once, right? So, yes, I would totally cosplay as Tingle, especially for $500. Are you offering? Because I'll do it. Question 2. Aside from Hyrule in the Zelda universe, if you could live in any fantasy world from a game or movie, where would you live and why? This is a tricky one. Because honestly, I'm not even entirely sure I'd live in Hyrule. Like, that's a dangerous place. And I want to get good with, like, a sword and bow and stuff like that, so maybe that's incentive. But I'm not, so I'd probably just die. I don't know how young Link was immediately good with a sword, by the way. Like, every item he picked up, he's like, oh, I can use this. But, beside the point. I'm stalling because I don't know the answer. Okay. I think, as weird as it sounds, I would actually have to pick the Fallout universe. Like, if you're talking about whole world, then yes, just the Fallout world. Because if I had to pick, like, a specific area, I'm not sure I could pick. Probably New Vegas. Because I think that's the coolest area, and it's, like, the least irradiated. So, you wouldn't have as many issues with the actual, like Fallout aspect of things. It's more just the post-apocalypse area, and I really like that atmosphere. Like, I love post-apocalyptic stuff. Like, movies, games, whatever it is. I don't know. Something about, like, just surviving is really cool to me. Not worrying about all the petty, like, who's doing who, why is Trump still relevant in the political race, all that crap that takes up our lives and our communication. I don't really care about any of that. So, like, I think it'd be refreshing to just live and, like, focus on surviving and, like, actually have life feel substantial again. I don't know. And, like, when you meet people, like, you don't you don't necessarily trust them, but like there's no small talk, like you're surprised to find someone, so it's like, oh man, like let's go, it's like let's be together, like Walking Dead, except I don't want zombies because zombies are terrifying. So yeah, probably Fallout. I think that'd be a good one. I'm not sure if I would survive very long, but it would definitely be interesting, and I would go out, guns blazing. Question 3. You ask this question to everyone, don't you? Imagine you wake up tomorrow with 100,000 subs. What would you do next? Probably cry. Like, I've said this before, that I think these whole competitions to promote people, like what PewDiePie is doing. I don't know if that's still going on. I'm not really paying attention to it. But I think those are kind of ill-conceived, because if you don't grow naturally, like these people that just gain, thousands of subscribers in like a few days, like they don't know what to do with that success. I mean, it's a lot of views, a lot of stuff that's coming in suddenly, even on the business side. Like, content that might not have been flagged otherwise is suddenly, like, hot topic. Like, oh man, like, all these people are seeing it, and now, like, I have to really be careful about what I put out. Like, I don't necessarily want to worry about all that right now. I'm just doing this for fun, and, growing my audience and stuff like that. So, like, by the time I get big, I'll know what I'm doing. If I just woke up with 100,000 subs, I would have no idea what I'm doing. And I'd probably just get my channel, like, deleted immediately because of all the content flags and stuff like that. Plus, I don't monetize that much. So, like, if I had all those people suddenly, I'd feel the need to, like, switch up my content and start monetizing, because I'd want that revenue, honestly. Like, I'm doing this for fun, but, like, if I could make a career out of it, I would. Like, just hands down, no contest. Because, jobs are hard. Like, I've been struggling a lot with that. You guys know that. So, if I could quit my jobs and just start doing this, I would. And that amount of subs allowed me to do that. But I'd have to drastically change up my business model for how I do things. Instead of it just being like, whatever I want to play, who cares, if it gets content ID'd or not. I would have to think, like, oh man, I have an audience, like, I need to start monetizing. I need to start, merchandising, things like that. So that's a lot to figure out, like, overnight, essentially. So I would just cry and, like, feel overwhelmed. But yeah, that went to a weirdly serious place. Let's move on. Next person on the list is Epic Hedgie. Let's see, you have done Scary October, Zelda Month, and now you start Merry Metroid, hashtag. What is planned for January? And don't tell me you have nothing planned. Actually, you know what? I don't have much planned for January. I've got some ideas that I'm not sure if it's going to be January or February, because it's a pretty big project, and I don't really want to spoil it in this video, honestly. But my ultimate theme here is to branch out from video game content. I know, that might seem shocking, but I do not want to sustain a video gaming channel forever. I love doing that. I love it, as a thing, but that's not what I want to do exclusively. You already know that I'm not just a Let's Play channel, like, I couldn't just play through, like, 3 games at once. I find that really boring. Like, no offense to anyone that does that, you guys are all awesome because you can do that, and it's, it's great content for you, but I personally just could not do that. I have to have, variety, like, different games, one-offs, highlights, things like that, and even the stuff that isn't video games. I love doing that stuff, too. So I'm looking to branch out more, because I've done plenty of the video game stuff. It's easy, honestly. Like, I'm not saying there's not work put into it. I'm just saying, like, it's basically just recording a game and editing it. Like, I don't have to think about multiple camera angles, things like that, like I do in my skits. I want to do more stuff like that. I want to do more of the video production side. So I'm looking into a few things. I think I've teased a little bit about, like, some tabletop stuff, and that is coming in one form or another. I just don't want to talk about it too much yet, because it's still in the planning phases. And like I said, I don't like to talk about things that are still in the planning phase. So I will say that the games aren't going away. Obviously, Metroid is continuing. We're not going to get through other end this month, I guarantee it. It's a relatively long game for a Metroid game. Plus, we just have a hard time getting together. So that will go into January. The cat games will go into January. Just the indie games in general, will go into January. That stuff isn't going anywhere. Mario Maker will probably still be in January. So, like, a lot of the stuff that I've kind of set as this month is going to continue. I don't have a set theme for next month, necessarily. I know what I'm doing for my Rage Quit, but I'm not going to tell you. I know that I'm going to be doing some more stuff with my brother, because people seem to really like that stuff. But again, I'm not going to... Well, I'll tell you one thing. He just got an Xbox One, and we figured out all the live streaming stuff directly from the Xbox One using his Kinect for the camera. So we're going to do some Xbox live streams in the near future. That'll be a lot of fun, but it's starting in December, so I don't know if that counts. But I'm sure it'll continue, because we have fun together, and why not? So yeah, a lot of stuff coming in the future, just not exactly sure anything specifically for January, and not really anything I can spoil. So, sorry to disappoint you, but I have no themes for January. And then secondly, what color would have the taste of pineapple if you had a rainbow-colored mustache? Okay, so it's not brown or red, because those are both my... Ugh. Those are both my mustache, so it's not one of those. That just tastes like hair. I would have to say blonde. Yes. I'm assuming, Hedgie, that your Swedish hair probably tastes like a pineapple. Just a guess. That was weird. Alright. Next up is my buddy Ixon. He has a ton of questions for me. First question, why are you bald? Genetics, actually. My dad was bald. He had a little comb over in his graduation picture, so I knew it was just downhill from there once I was born. But yes, genetics. That's it. I don't have a clever answer, sorry. Wait, what? Second question, what color Zelda do you like the most? I don't understand this question. I don't remember actually reading that. What color Zelda do you like the most? The pink one? Aren't they all pink? Yeah. Unless you mean hair color. Because I don't like the Twilight Princess where she's, like, brown-haired. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with Skyward Sword Zelda. The pink outfit with the little ponytails. Yeah, that color. Third question. How much wood could you chuck if you could chuck wood? I would chuck 5 liters of wood. And yes, I know that liters is a liquid measurement. Question 4. Be thee friend or foe. Or. I'm watching you. Question 5, I think? I don't know. Who's buried in Grant's tomb? Grant. Question 6. Why do we persist on eating bagels with coffee? I didn't know we did, because I don't eat bagels, really, and I haven't drank coffee in a while. So maybe I'm just out of the loop. Is that like a British thing? I mean, you're not even British, but is that a British thing? Question whatever. What kind of person would allow barbecue sauce to fall out of their pulled pork sandwiches? The worst kind of person. I mean, generally you can just, scoop it back up, with the bun and, eat that bite first, but then more falls out. So, really, the solution to this would just be to eat your pulled pork sandwich in one bite. It's the practical solution, really. I mean, you can't deny me. Last question, I think. Why do no paper plates actually work, but we can make a house out of cardboard? Can we make a house out of cardboard? I've never seen a cardboard house. Well, unless you count a homeless person's house, because they live in a cardboard box, allegedly. I've never actually seen a homeless person live in a cardboard box either, by the way. But that is a stereotype. So, why do no paper plates actually work? Because food is heavier than people. Logically, that must be the reason. Next set of questions come from my buddy Bloodshot Kai. And he asks, what is one game that you regret buying? There's actually a lot of them. But most recently, I was super disappointed with Batman Arkham Knight. I forgot what it was even called. Yeah, come at me, fight me, whatever. I just did not like it. I was thrown off by the Batmobile controls. They killed the game for me. I used to love the Riddler challenges, and those were all Batmobile related, and I hated it. I love the stuff with Catwoman and Batman together, after you do the Riddler challenge. Those are really cool. And some of the other elements of the game are cool, but it felt too much like City with Batmobile stuff thrown in. And I didn't like the Batmobile, I didn't like the open world. The combat was fine, but I don't know, I didn't enjoy it. And, like, I was super excited for it to come out. I had it pre-ordered, went and picked it up day one, and played it for a few hours, and then traded it in. Like, just didn't enjoy it. I don't know. Question 2. If you could be sponsored by anyone, who would you want to be sponsored by? Nintendo. Easy answer. I love Nintendo. I would eat up all of the stuff they gave me for a sponsor. So if anyone is out there and, you work for Nintendo, what's wrong with me? If you work for Nintendo and, like, want a small-time crappy YouTuber to support, I'm your guy. I got Nintendo stuff all over the place. Ignore this Mega Man stuff behind me. I know no one cares about Mega Man anymore. And this game was on PlayStation. But look at the Zelda stuff. And, just give me stuff, Nintendo. Please. I'll be a friend. Question 3. If you could eat any type of pastry, what would it be? Do donuts count as a pastry? I think donuts are a pastry. Donuts. I freaking love donuts. I mean, I love pastries in general. Like, baked goods are kind of my weakness. As I've given up, like, soda, most, like, chocolate and gummy candies, things like that. Like, I've given up a lot of that stuff, try to be healthier, but I am a sucker for donuts. Next questions come from Lazy Bum Gamer, my buddy Abba. And he asks, question 1, how did you come up with your name? I assume you're meaning the name Zero Score because my name Justin was given to me by my mother when I was a baby, so I didn't really have any control over that one. But Zero Score actually has a weird origin. I've explained it before, but here it is again in, vlog form. This channel was originally a collaboration channel between myself and my friend Ori, who did a lot of videos in the beginning of the channel, but moved, hence why it's not, our channel. But yeah, so the original origin was Zero, me, and Scorio, which is like his online presence, brought down to Score, and those were combined to kind of create that idea of, like, failing at video games. So it was like both of us failing at video games, which, works still. Like, you don't need the naming system behind them for that theme to work. So I still liked the name. I came up with it. We were kind of pitching different ones, and I came up with that one. So I loved the name. I wanted to keep it anyway. But yeah, he moved, and so could pretty much only come by every now and then to guest star in videos instead of actually, like, run the channel with me. So I decided to keep it Zero Score because I really liked it, and people call me Zero anyway, so it works. But yeah, the basic idea behind it is that, you don't have to be good at video games to play them. You can just fail and have fun anyway. Question 2. Where do you see yourself in 5 years and 10 years? Honestly, at this point, I have no idea. I don't even know where I'm going to be in 6 months, much less, next year or 5 years. I'm hoping to still be here, honestly. Like, in front of this camera, probably not this backdrop, but in front of this camera, talking to you guys, the same guys and more, and just entertaining. But I know that, things might get in the way. I have every intention to do this for the foreseeable future, but if I'm not, then I'm not sure what I would do instead. I would probably stagnate a little bit, I'll be honest. But I really want to be doing this for a living. Like, not necessarily YouTube, because the market's changing. YouTube isn't what it used to be. Like, you gotta admit that. The barrier to entry has become huge. Because anyone can do it, but very few people can actually, break through that barrier of success. But I'd love to be doing video production as a career and, using that, like, those resources and that ability in my hobby. But if I could just do this as a career, that would be amazing too. So yeah, I want to be doing video work, but I have no idea what or how or anything like that. It's all pretty much up in the air. And on that note, any future plans for 2016? I kind of explained a lot of that in the answer to Hedgie's question, so I won't dwell on it too much. But I do have some personal plans. I am hoping to graduate at the end of 2016. I know, exciting. But if not, basically right now I'm tracking to graduate in December of 2016. and then finish up my last 2 classes in January. But if I don't do that, then I would graduate in May of 2017, and that would really bum me out because I graduated high school in May of 2007, and then started college in August of 2007, and aside from a few semesters off and like some downtime when I was transferring schools and stuff like that, I've pretty much been in school for almost 10 years now. So I would be really bummed if I graduated college 10 years after graduating high school. I don't know, that just feels weird to me. But so hopefully I'll graduate in 2016. I also am looking into a study abroad program. I don't really want to talk about it too much because if it doesn't happen, then this is awkward. But yeah, I'm hoping that works out, and if it does, then I will totally contact anyone in the London area in hopes that we could possibly meet up and do some stuff, because that'd be awesome. Because there's so many amazing people out there that I follow and like just talk to daily, and I've never met any of you, and that sucks. So I really want to do that. Like if I can get the money, I want to travel more and start meeting some of you people, because you're amazing and like some of the coolest people out there, and I live thousands of miles away, so that's annoying. But yeah, on a lighter note, what games are you looking forward to, or what games are you looking for in 2016? Hopefully Zelda U, if that doesn't get delayed again. They reassured us it was still 2016, but they've done that before. So yeah, hopefully Zelda U. That's going to be my my game of the year, definitely. I also am really excited for the new Deus Ex game, which might sound weird because I haven't really talked about that series before, but I loved Human Revolution. Final Fantasy Explorers, I mentioned it before. I really want that. There's actually not a lot of games I can think of that I'm super excited about next year, but I'm sure there's some that have come out that I just can't think about. I don't know if the Final Fantasy VII Remake, like Episode 1, is going to be out next year, but that would be really awesome if it is. Same with Final Fantasy 15. I'm curiously optimistic about Metroid Federation Force still. I think that's due out like spring or summer. And considering it's like just panned reception at E3, I'm hoping they'll reintroduce it in the next few months as a new game. Like as something that isn't, Federation Force, like an actual Metroid game. Then I would be super excited. But I want to support Metroid anyway, because I want more games in that series. So regardless of, how the game actually turns out, I still kind of want to get it, just to show there is an audience for Metroid. Also, Yooka-Laylee. That is a big one. Mighty Number 9 I supported, and whatever, it's going to come out, I'll play it, I already bought it, I've played it for the channel, it's looks good, but Yooka-Laylee looks way better, and I really want more from that game, so I'm hoping it comes out next year also. Like, maybe, I think it's due, like, October or November of next year? I don't remember. I've rambled enough about this topic. But yeah, it's mostly, like, the indie and, like, Kickstarter games that I'm excited about more than big releases, because a lot of that stuff is kind of generic. You have been transformed into a Pokemon. What would you be and why? You guys are killing me with these questions. Like, how do I answer this? There's over 700 of them, and most of them are awesome, except for, like, Bidoof, because he sucks and he knows it.